Welcome. My name is Katherine. Welcome to Gentle Yoga. Today we are going to need a blanket or a yoga blanket and a block or a thick book and be close to a wall. Now, if you have sensitive knees and you can't be on your knees, have a chair nearby because I'll give an option for that. So to begin, we're going to start in a supported back bend with the help of our blanket. If you have a yoga blanket, if you'll just see, I folded it um, in half and then in half again. And then basically, I just want you to roll it up. Whatever you got, roll it up and have it kind of thick. Have it about 4 inches once it's compressed. So whatever you got at home, make it thick and slightly short too, because we want to have our bum on the mat as we sit in front of it. Now, take a moment and just see the two variations I'm going to give you of this posture so you can choose which one you think is going to be best for you. If you have neck sensitivities, do version A. So, version A is sit in front of the roll, and then we'll come back and just let your head be supported by the roll. And we've done this one before. If you're okay, you're feeling pretty good in your neck today, it doesn't have an injury, you could even scoot back and play around with what would it be like if the back of your head was on the floor and your chin was slightly moving away from the chest. So you got a long back of the neck, a little bit of an open throat, not chin's not so far away that the back of the neck's getting shortened. And then whatever version you're choosing, the either side of the either shoulder is falling off either side of the roll. So what I'm hoping that this will facilitate is a nice opening in the chest. If you do have allergies, this can be quite nice. It's a supported fish pose. But if neck stuff is going on with you today, you could still get some benefit out of just doing this. This is still great too. So you're still getting a chest opener. Please feel free to keep your feet on the mat and the knees bent. If you have a sensitive back, or maybe you want to just extend the legs long. And just coming into stillness. Once you arrive, of course, you come into stillness and you're like, this isn't quite right. Please adjust yourself, settling in. Those of you who have your head off the roll, try to have your bum still on the mat. So it's like your low back is supported by the roll, the spine, but your bum is on the mat. And then closing the eyes, softening the tongue. Take a few breaths just to welcome yourself to your practice. And checking in with yourself, just noticing how your mind is feeling today. Does it feel more active or maybe more sluggish, somewhere in between? Noticing what mood you're in. Noticing your energy level. And of course, noticing your body. How's your body today? And I invite you to set an intention for your practice and see if you can let this intention be just one word. So, distilling down what would you like today? What would be helpful today for you? Distill it down to one word. And then inhaling, imagine you're inhaling that word, the quality of this word, of this intention for yourself. And then as you exhale, offer that intention to all beings everywhere. In for you, out for them. A few more rounds like that. Maybe even offering a smile to yourself and all beings, or an inner smile. And then exhale completely. Every last bit of breath out of your lungs. And then inhale with a big morning stretch. This is the first time you got up this morning. Big, big stretch. And then rolling to one side into somewhat of a fetal position. You can move your blanket out of this way and just pause here for a moment in this fetal position. Whatever arm is on top, you're going to just start to circle it. Nice, big, slow circles. Let the weight of your head rest on your arm or your hand if that feels good. Nice and big circles. Go the other direction, maybe even slow down. Just noticing the different sensations that arise as you move your arm. Good. And then let's roll onto our back and switch sides. So go ahead and roll onto the opposite side. We'll do the same thing. Nice, slow, big circles. Supporting the head in some way that makes sense to you. And as you circle, really reach that hand away from the shoulder. Reach, reach, reach. And then other direction with the circles. A few more rounds. Good. And then go ahead and roll back onto your back, knees bent, feet on the floor, arms alongside the body. Preparing for a bridge. And this bridge pose, we're going to do a little bit different. My intention for class is that we're going to work on allergies and just kind of really waking up the hips. And so for this bridge pose, I'd like you to have your feet together and inhale, slowly lift the hips. It's okay if they don't go as high because the feet and the thighs are together. And then slowly lower the hips back to the mat. I'd like you to take your feet hips width distance apart. Inhale, lift the hips. Keep your gaze on the ceiling. Exhale, lower. Now take your feet a little wider than hips width distance. And with an inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Heel toe back to hips width distance. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now back, feet together. And we're going to start again. And we're going to do that, but have the arms, you move the arms as well. So here's how we do it. Inhale, sweep arms up and back behind you, thighs together, feet together. Exhale, roll on down. And then heel toe, feet hips width distance apart. Inhale, lifting up, reaching up. Exhale, down. Now a little wider than hips width distance. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And hips width distance. Inhale up. Exhale down. Feet together. Inhale up. Now pause here for a moment. Keep your right arm back behind you. Exhale, bring the left arm down alongside the body as you return the hips to the floor. Turn your head to the left. Feeling a little stretch perhaps in the top of the right shoulder, the right side of the neck. Relax the face. Release the body to the mat. Take one more breath into any places of constriction. And then head comes back through center, so you're going to gaze at the ceiling. Inhale, left arm up, back behind you. Now, same thing, second side, right arm alongside the body. Return your bottom to the floor. And then turn the head to the left. Oh, excuse me, to the right. Your head's turning away from that arm. Do your best to really release the weight of your head, that left arm into the floor. Softening the jaw, breathe into the constricted areas. One more breath. Good, inhale, come back through center. And right arm up, back behind you, lift the hips, gaze to the ceiling. And exhale, both arms to the floor, hips to the mat. Let's roll on to one side, slowly come on up. Now, those of you who are okay with being on your knees, please unfold your blanket or towel and come to a stand on your knees here. Those of you who are not okay with being on your knees, go ahead and have a seat on the chair. So, folks who are okay with being on the knees, I'm going to have you step your right foot forward. We're going to come into a lunge. And basically inhale, bend the right knee, lift the left arm, exhale, straighten the right knee a little bit as you swing that left arm down. So keep moving back and forth. Inhale, increasing the stretch. Exhale, taking a little break. Okay, keep going. Those of you who are feeling sensitive in your knees today, you're simply going to sit side saddle on your chair to the right and then step your left foot back behind you. And you can just inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, bring it down. Hey, everyone's moving. Feel the breath. And then we'll pause for one round of breath. Low belly pulling in, maybe reaching both arms up if you like. Good, and then we'll switch sides. So right knee to the floor, left foot steps forward. As you're ready, inhale, sweep up. Right arm goes up. Exhale, give it a break. Keep moving with your breath. Low belly pulling in. Of course, chair folks, you're sitting side saddle to the left and stepping your right foot back. Just a few more times, low belly in. And then the next time right arm comes up, let's pause there. Maybe both arms reach for the sky. Press that back foot into the floor. On your next exhale, bring both knees to the mat. Okay, from here, if you can, tuck your toes and sit back onto the heels, stretching out the calves. Okay, if this for whatever reason causes cramps, you're unable to do this, then maybe you just tuck the toes and hang out here, right? So just come as far as you can. One more breath. Good, and then come on back up. Now, I like folks who are on the floor to stand on your knees facing the long edge of your mat. Step your right foot out to the right so that the right foot and left knee are on the same line. And then with the with the right heel a little bit in front of the right knee. I think you can see that, yeah. Right heel just in front. And then on an inhale, you're gonna bend the right knee till the heel and knee are aligned. And the exhale, you're gonna take a break. So inhale, bend, exhale, take a break. So I can show you my side view. That back foot is behind me and I'm opening. Those of you in the chair, for if your knees are feeling sensitive, you are going to actually take the feet wide into goddess pose and just pause here, pressing both feet into the mat. In a moment here, actually right now, those of you who are on the floor and you bend the knee, you're gonna pause here and just, you can either rest the right elbow here. If you wanna deepen even further, you'll reach the left arm on a diagonal angle away from the left knee. So it's kind of like a side angle pose if you're familiar with that, extended side angle pose. Those of you in the chair, you can make it a side angle pose variation like that. One more breath wherever you are. Good, and then second side. Setting it up, we've got the heel and the knee in the same plane, but walk that foot forward so that the heel's just a little bit in front of the knee. And so inhale, bend. Exhale, take a break. Keep moving. And so the folks in the chair, you'll be in that goddess pose, pressing the feet into the mat. And then next time you come into this variation of side angle pose, bend that knee over the heel. You're gonna pause there and maybe you just stay here, pulling the low belly in, feeling the stretch in the front of the right hip. If you would like more, you'll reach that right arm on diagonal away from the right knee. Slow, steady breath. Okay, folks in the chair, you do the same thing with your arms. Last breath. Good, and then come on out of it. Folks in the chair, you're gonna do cat-cow in the chair, so seated pelvic tilts. Those of you on the mat will do some cat-cow on the mat, and just lifting the head and tail and then rounding the back, nice and slow. And then feel free also to improvise. Maybe you wanna circle your ribs a little bit. Perhaps there's one position of the spine that you wanna breathe a couple breaths into. Take the next 2 breaths to take care of your spine. Good, and then you're gonna sit back into child's pose if you're on the mat. If you are in a chair, you're gonna sit forward in the chair and just fold over the legs. Breathe into the low back. Last breath. Good, come on up. Remove your blanket, come onto the mat, belly down. Everybody's going to be on the mat here. So something that's important for hip function is glutes. So this next variation of locust pose is meant to help you tone your glutes. Please try to spread the sensation throughout the entire back body too as well. Try to avoid like really cranking into the butt at the expense of your low back, okay? So here's how we're gonna begin. We're gonna set it up like Cobra Pose, right? So the hands come on either side of the ribs on the floor. Bend the elbows, hugging the elbows in. Take a deep breath in here as you walk your feet away from your head. Get really long in the spine. Exhale completely as you draw your navel towards the back. And then on the inhale, slowly lift your chest and your legs and your head. Inhale, and then spread the feet. So the feet are wide. Stay up, but now on the exhale, bring your feet together. Feel your glutes work. Stay up. On the inhale, take the feet apart. Just about a foot or so. On the next exhale, bring the feet together and come back to the floor. Turn your head to the left so your right cheek is on the mat. Take a round of breath here, relax. Again, next inhale, lift legs and chest and head, feet come apart. Stay up, feet together. On your exhale, stay up, inhale, feet apart. On the exhale, feet come together, return your body to the floor, turn your head to the right. Rest for a round of breath. Again, inhale, lift, feet apart. Exhale, feet together. Inhale, feet apart. Exhale, feet together. Come to the floor, right cheek to the mat. Round of breath, rest. And then inhale, lifting legs, gaze forward, feet come apart. Stay up, feet together. Stay up on your inhale, feet apart. On the exhale, feet together, return to the floor, head to the mat, left cheek. One more round on your own. So you're gonna come on up and keep moving. Okay, and once you finish there, go ahead and pause, rest, release your arms to the mat, take a couple of breaths, relaxing the back, relaxing the butt. Good, and then let's flip on over. Arms are going to come alongside the body. Slowly draw the knees into the chest though. So the knees are bending into chest, feet are off the floor. Keeping your thighs as close together as you can. On an inhale, extend your heels towards the sky. Now, some of you, the knees might bend quite a bit, and that's okay. We're just looking to see, can we get a stretch in the calves? On the exhale, bend the knees. And return to beginning position. So inhale, heels reach to the ceiling, toes peel back. You're feeling a stretch in the calves. You might feel it in your hamstrings too, a little bit of release in the back. Exhale, beginning position. Now, we're going to add the arms. Inhale, heels reach to the ceiling, sweep your arms up and back behind you. Your body looks like the capital L. Exhale, arms alongside the body, knees bend. Keep moving like that. Inhale, it's like kind of a reclined Dandasana. Exhale, Bending knees, heels to glutes. Keep moving with the breath. The inhale is when the heels reach and the arms reach. Twice more. Good, and then release your feet to the mat. Keep your right knee bent. Slide your left leg straight. Reach through your left heel. Imagine like you're standing on your left foot. So you're really going to reach, firm up the muscles of the left leg. And on an inhale, slowly swing your right knee open. So now it's kind of like you're in a reclined tree pose. Exhale, slowly swing the knee to point to the sky. My right foot's on the floor. Inhale, swing it open. Exhale, close it. You can keep moving like this. If you'd like to use your core to help stabilize the pelvis, maybe just kind of crank it up a notch, make it a little bit more of a strengthening, core strengthening pose. You'd bring your arms back behind you and interlace the fingers like you're standing in tree pose, right? Inhaling, sweeping the knee out to the side. Exhaling together. A couple more times like that. Low bellies in. Really long in the trunk. Good. And then exhale, bring your hands to your chest, stack your palms, bend your left knee. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth side out. Let's do the second side. Straighten your right leg. Imagine you're standing on it, toes are peeling back. Low belly comes in, and then slowly swing the left knee open, like in a reclined tree pose, and swinging it back to beginning position. The inhale is the opening. The exhale is the swinging back. If you'd like to do the arms overhead version, please feel free to do that. Long trunk. Keep moving. Okay, one more time. Excellent. Exhale, bend right knee. Now both feet are on the floor. Stack palms on heart. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. Feel your breath return to a natural rhythm. Good. Now bring your arms alongside the body. And we're going to inhale, slowly swinging the knees apart into reclined cobbler's pose. And exhale very slowly, bringing the knees together. Please keep your low back pressing into the mat as you do this. Nice and slow too. So if you go faster, you're going to lose this opportunity to strengthen the inner thighs. It's actually a bit of a core strengthener too here as we press that low back into the mat. Keep moving. Let's do about 3 more of these. Good. Now we'll finish with the feet on the mat, the knees bent. Take a moment just to notice the sensations of the body. and the sounds of the room that you're currently in. Okay, so for this next one, um, this is an opportunity to get a stretch in the legs and also a nice twist as well as a strengthening of the outer hip muscles that help us abduct, open the legs. So if you have a sensitive back, like a herniated disc that feels pretty sensitive today, will you just watch and see what I'm doing and see if this feels okay for you before you do it? So here's how it's going to go. You're going to straighten your right leg. Extend your left leg towards the sky. Toes are peeling back. Now, some of you, the leg may be more on a diagonal. That's totally fine. Oh, actually, excuse me. For this, actually, I want you to bend your knee if it's on a diagonal. Just bend it so you can reach the heel in the most vertical line you can, right? So my knee's bent. This would be if I have like real tight backs of the legs, just doing this. That's okay. Swing your arms out left and right so that the wrists are in line with shoulders on the floor. On an exhale, you're going to swing your left leg across the body and to the floor. On the inhale, you're going to swing the left leg back up towards the sky. Now keep moving with the breath. We'll do that twice more. And as I do this, my left hip stacks over right, coming back. And now this time, as I bring that left foot towards the floor, maybe it doesn't make it, that's okay. But I want everyone to keep, you can even see me. Ooh, I would like everyone to keep the left leg just hovering above the floor here. Now slowly externally rotate the left thigh bone. So you'd be using the muscles that would help turn the toes out a little bit. And this is from the hips. It might help kind of really, you're like lighting up that hip area. Hopefully you're feeling that. Left leg is diagonal. Cut that, not diagonal. Left leg is parallel to the floor. I'm sorry, my words are failing me today. Good, and then from here, nice and slow on the inhale, bring the leg back up. Exhale, left foot to the mat and bend right knee as well. Take a moment, finding a neutral pelvis, feel your breath. Okay, second side, straightening the left leg. Inhale, reach right leg on the most vertical line you can, right? Maybe that knee's bent a little bit. Arms are left and right, open at a T. On an exhale, swing that leg across the body. Right leg swings to the left. On the inhale, swing it back up. Few times like that, about 2 more times. Stacking right hip over left as you swing it. Nice and slow, bringing it up. And then the next time the leg comes across the body, you're going to pause there and have the leg parallel to the floor. So the foot is hovering off the floor. My right hip is stacked over left. And if you can, activate the muscles that externally rotate your right thigh bone. So you're trying to turn your right toes out, right? Maybe they don't turn out, that's okay, but I'm asking you to light up the hip in a certain area. So this is a hello hips, hello. Hello muscles. Couple breaths here. Now on the next inhale, you're going to come back up. Exhale, feet to the floor, knees bent. Find a neutral pelvis. Pause here, rest. Bring your right knee into the chest. Bring your right hand to your right knee. left knee into the chest, left hand to left knee. Keep the back of your pelvis on the mat. And as you inhale, straighten your elbows. And as you exhale, bend them. So the knees come closer to the chest. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, straightening elbows, knees come away. Exhale, knees move to the chest. Good. Once more. And then we'll roll to one side and come on up to sit. Take your feet wide. And then grab the flesh of your rear and just kind of pull it back a little bit so that you're really up on your sits bones. Slide your right hand underneath your right knee and bend that right knee. So now the right knee is bent, your feet are still wide. And you're going to pause here. For some of you, just doing this is like, oh, you're feeling a nice stretch in the inner right thigh. Stay here. This is great. You could, if you're finding you're like leaning back quite a bit, you could use the legs to help you come forward a little bit if that feels healthy. If you could use more sensation in this pose, you're going to inhale, reach both arms up. And then on an exhale, you're going to bring both hands in front of you to the floor. Your left foot, flex it. So the toes are peeling back towards the kneecap. You're keeping your right knee, which is bent, pointing towards the sky. Take 2 more breaths here. With the next inhale, you'll come back up. We'll switch sides. Slide the left hand underneath the left knee. Help it bend straight and right. Set yourself up, feel it out. Maybe this you have to do something different on this side. Totally cool. Take care of yourself. Do peel the toes back towards the knee. And if you need more sensation, you'll reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. The leg that's straight, the right one, imagine you could reach the inner ankle a little further away from your groin, like the skin is like reaching away from the groin. Keeping the chest somewhat broad. We'll take one more round of breath here. And then inhale, come on up. Now let's do that again, but with both knees bent. So again, some of you might find you just hold on to those legs wherever you can, just to keep you in this position with as broad of a chest as you can. Others, you may desire more, and if that's the case, you'll inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Right, so this is as far as I can come, but maybe your forehead is on the floor. I don't know, but as long as you're breathing, you have a healthy stretch in the inner thighs, and just ensuring that your back isn't taking up, isn't like having to take up for the fact that the inner thighs are tight, right? So if you're excessively rounding in your back and you really have to round, and scrunch up in the chest, then come up a little bit. You might not be able to go as far. Last round of breath. Good, and then come on up. Okay, so take a moment and just sit however feels comfortable. I'm going to show you, we're going to do an inversion, which can be helpful for allergies. Short inversion can be nice to mix things up. And you're going to have two options for the inversion. So the way it will set up is you'll go over towards the wall and you're going to fold up your blanket so that it's not super thick, but basically the idea is that your head is going to come on the floor, but the rest of your body is supported. If for whatever reason having your head even just a little bit below your shoulders isn't the right thing for you, then just don't use the blanket at all. Just lay flat. So when you're ready, making that decision for yourself if you need the blanket or not, you're going to come up into a fetal position with your bottom touching the wall. And then go ahead and just roll over, kicking those legs up the wall. Now, if you decided to use the blanket, see if you can position yourself so that the shoulders are supported by the blanket. The rest of the trunk is supported by the blanket. Your bum is supported by the blanket, but your head is just a little bit lower than the blanket. Letting the arms go left and right. If your legs are really tight, the backs of the legs, your hamstrings, you might find you need to scoot your bum further from the wall. Some of you will have your knees bent a little bit if that's the case. And what's nice about having your head just a little bit behind your shoulders is it gives you an opportunity to open the throat, and while keeping the back of the neck long. And this can have an effect on the sensations of opening in our chest. Just creating more space for the breath. So go ahead and close your eyes, and I'd like you to bring your awareness to the sounds in the room you're in, and maybe even outside the room. See if you can notice 3 different sounds. And now I'd like you to notice the sensations of your body. See if you can notice 3 different sensations, maybe 3 different areas of the body where you feel sensation. Now I'd like you to bring your awareness to your breath. And in your mind, say to yourself, as I'm breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. And you say that on the exhale. And on the inhale, you say to yourself, as I breathe in, I know I'm breathing in. Just saying that to yourself as you breathe each time. Good. Now you can let that go. Bend your knees, placing your feet on the wall, and let the knees go wide so Here you're in a bit of a cobbler's pose on the wall. Relax your pelvis, relax your belly, relax your inner thighs, and release the weight of your pelvis to the floor. Good. And then slowly roll to one side, pausing there. And now use your arms to help yourself come up nice and slow. Take your time moving back onto the mat here. Have your block close by or a thick book close by. When I'm saying thick book, like an encyclopedia or something like thick, or maybe a stack of books. We're going to massage the back of our, the base of our skull, basically. Sometimes this area can get so tight from tension, but also from allergies too. So you're going to come down onto your back. Before we go into the neck massage, let's do a bridge, and we're just going to hold it. So go ahead and set up your bridge. Toes are pointing forward. Thighs are parallel. And arms are going to stay alongside the body. You can walk your shoulder blades flat underneath you, and then lifting the hips. Keep your gaze on the ceiling. And just notice as you lifted your hips, did you go to the end of your range of motion? If you did, come out of it like 20% and just kind of make it a little bit more mellow. And stay there for a few breaths. So you're like 80% of what you can totally, of how high you can actually go. And then I want you to creep up to 90%. Keep your thighs parallel. And then creeping up to 100% of what you can do, how high you can lift. Take a breath there. And then ease back down. Let's do like 50% of how high you can go. And then lowering down. So you're just hovering bum off the mat. And then release your rear to the floor. Okay. Now from here, you're going to grab your book or block and feel around. What is the best choice for you? How high do you like it? I kind of like my block on its second highest setting. So that feels good for me. Now, how high depends for you, but I do want the edge of the block. It's kind of digging in to and supporting the tissue at the base of the skull, just below the base of the skull. And so just pause here for a couple breaths. Now, if you have a neck situation where this isn't a good choice for you, feel free to come back to that mindfulness practice where you're listening to sounds, listening to noticing sensations in the body, and you could just work there with your mindfulness practice. If you're okay today in the neck, you're going to start with the weight of your skull centered, basically right in the center, right? So you're just looking straight forward. And then I want you to turn your head as far as you can healthily turn it to the right. So now the weight of the skull is kind of focused more on the right side of the base of the skull. And then I want you to just come back halfway out of that. So head turns about 50% back towards center, and then just pause there. And please don't force your head into the block. You're just releasing the weight of the head in the block. So let it be underwhelming. If it is, that's totally cool. We're just going to chill, feel the weight on that tissue. at the base of the skull, just below the base of the skull. If it feels okay, you could always straighten your legs if that feels nice, or keep the feet flat on the floor if you like it. And come back to that practice with the breath. So as I'm breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. As I'm breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Now bring your head back halfway from the point it's at towards the center. So you're just roll it a little bit now back towards center. You're not quite there yet, but you're rolling it back a little bit. Take a few breaths right there, mindful breaths as I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing in. Letting gravity do its work. No need to force. And then come back to the center point. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Slowly, mindfully turn your head to the left as far as you can go in a healthy way. And then come back halfway. So come back halfway to center and pause. As I breathe out, I know I'm breathing out. Take one more round of breath here. And then come halfway, find a halfway point from where you are, halfway to the center. So rolling just a little bit to the right. And pause here. Let the tissue give way to the block or book that you're on. As I breathe in, I know I'm breathing in. Take two more rounds of breath here. And then come back through center. Slowly lift your head, remove the block, and come into Shavasana, relaxation pose. Close the eyes, soften the face, maybe even wiggle the eyebrows, wiggle the nose, make sure that the face is really kind of wiped clean of an expression. Maybe wiggle the jaw. Take a deep breath in and hold the breath for the count of 3. Then open the mouth, sigh it out. Returning to your intention for class today. Breathing in your intention for yourself, breathing out your intention to all beings everywhere. If you can stay longer for Shavasana and would like to, please do. If you need to move on with the rest of your day, wiggle your fingers and toes. And then once again, take a big morning stretch. Eventually bringing the knees into the chest for a hug of gratitude, taking this time for yourself today. And then rolling to one side and making your way up to a comfortable seat of your choice. Bringing the palms together in front of your heart. If there's someone specific that you would love to send your intention for class out to today, visualize them clearly right now. Imagine where they are in their day. And then we'll send out all the benefits of our practice and our intention to this being on the exhale. Take an inhale to gather it up. And exhale, send it out. See them feeling good and enjoying your intention. Thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste.